Good afternoon, guys. It's working, bringing you a quick update on EOS. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at EOS to the US dollar, 4-hour chart on Bitfinex, guys. And last time we spoke, EOS was operating within this wedge. Told you guys to be very careful of the bear trap, possible breaking out. Market makers looking to liquidate short positions and then bringing the price right back up. That's exactly what happened. Price came down, liquidated many shorts, however, not nearly as many as they would have liked to have seen, guys. And it's getting very, very interesting. If we come in here and we look at short positions, we can see shorts are still incredibly stacked. Now, yes, they did liquidate some. They were successful somewhere to a degree, but shorts are still incredibly stacked to the upside, guys. When we compare that to long positions are still, even though we had that rise in price, long positions are, anyone that was in or just took their profit off that long. And so this is just proving, without a shadow of a doubt, that retail investors believe this market is going to go down. So I think that I think the market makers wanted to push this price down. It's going to be very hesitant to whether they are now because they gunned their short squeeze, didn't really squeeze many people out of the market at all. So they're either going to massively bring this price up, or they're just going to give in to retail and they're going to let this price drop down, in my opinion, probably around $4 or so, if this thing is allowed to do what I think it wants to do. However, I'm not saying that it's going to, guys. I'm saying that this is a massive battle between the bulls and the bears, and retail investors are getting smarter. Retail investors knew that this was possibly a bear trap. They held their positions, and sure enough, guys, that's exactly what it ended up being. Is price ended up coming right back up. And now we're trading basically within the same zone that we started in, guys. We came back up, going to the upside, hit almost a double top from this prior candle here, come right back down, and now we're right where we started. So where is price going to go here in the short term? I think there are a couple good things that I'm seeing here, guys. From a bullish perspective, we are seeing price, excuse me, we are seeing price came up here, created almost a double top position. We didn't get a very strong rejection. It just kind of came back to where it was here before. We are getting a series of higher lows. We got higher low, higher low, higher low. So within this entire structure, we're still creating a series of higher lows. In other words, if I just draw a line on the body, we can see that it's basically following this uptrend. So overall, that's a very bullish indication. A very bearish indication for me is if we end up coming down and getting lower than this level here. We created a series of support, a little demand zone between 4.73, 4.66. If that does break, I think there's a good chance that this 4.57 support will break. And if that does, because it was tested back here, loosened up greatly. So if this does break through, guys, I think there's a good chance this 4.47 will break. And at that point, it's going to be a free fall down to 4.28. Whether or not that 4.28 does hold remains to be seen, guys. If that does break, it'll be another free fall down to $4. That 4.28. Once this breaks, once 4.66 breaks, I think 4.28 is the next stop, and the only thing that would stop price from going down to $4 will be this 4.28. Whether or not it holds remains to be seen. To the upside, we've got to get on top of this 4.39 to 5.46. I think that is a decent supply zone up here. A lot of sell orders are sitting in this zone, guys. We also have to get above this descending resistance line, guys. This descending resistance line, if I pull out here, if I zoom out to the daily and pull out, we can see this descending resistance line has been in place since, I think it's early May. Yeah, since early May, guys. So a very long time, tested about 10 separate times, and has held up the entire time. So if we can break above that descending resistance line, guys, that's going to be an extremely bullish indication, guys. So let's wait and see if that can happen. So to the upside, if we can get to the top of this zone here, 4.46, which will naturally bring it above this descending resistance line, guys, I think it could be a very quick rise up to $6. I don't think this 550 is going to hold. I think this softened up right back here. So I do think that if we can crash through that, I think it'll be a very quick rise to at least 5.75 to $6. And again, guys, to the downside, we're going to all eyes are on this 4.66 to see if this support zone can hold. Excuse me. Now, there's another reason that I'm pointing out these two zones here, guys. This was a very bullish indication. Now, what do we have here? This, in my opinion, this is the primary wave 1, 2, up for the 3. So in other words, I can count out 5 subwaves in here to make this all a primary wave 1 right here, down for a primary wave 2, and then we'd be up for the primary wave 3 if that is in fact the count. So if that is in fact the case, guys, where did this hit? This is a perfect hit right off the 618. If I go swing low to swing high, I mean, look at this. The body just slightly wicked below, right into the golden pocket, guys. But I mean, this is about as technical as it can get, guys. Almost a perfect bounce. We even had a double bottom scenario. Price came down, came back, double bottom, and then just shot right up. And that's right inside the golden pocket, guys. Right on top of the 618 to the 65. That's the golden pocket, guys. Tiny wick below, but that happens all the time. And then we had it, and then we impulsed right back up. So from a bullish point of view, we're looking at a very, very, very technical bounce. If I'm looking at this from a bearish point of view, however, though, and if I go swing high, swing low, what do we have? Swing high, swing low, we've got almost a perfect hit as well, right? If, coming down here and coming right back up, just inside the 618, kind of wicked right through there. If I look here, if I come here to the daily, if I come here to the hourly, there we go. If I come here and look at the hourly just perfectly hit, the body of it just perfectly hit right at the 618. Yeah, we had a very tiny, small little wick that came inside there, but you can see the body was a perfect hit right off the 618. So we're getting a technical perspective from both a bullish and a bearish point of view. However, we do have these 5 perfect waves up to create a larger wave 1 and a perfect ABC correction down to create a perfect subwave 2, or perfect wave 2, primary wave 2, up for the, and we should be coming up for the primary wave 3 at this point. And I would be counting this as a subwave 1, 2 within that primary wave 3. So if I'm looking at this from a subwave 1, 2, this being the 1 coming down for the 2, what do we have, guys? We can see that this, if I go swing low, swing high, we have a perfect hit right up to 50. And we know that wave 2s oftentimes probability tells us they hit somewhere between the 618 and the 50, so somewhere in this zone. So I wouldn't be surprised to see price come back down, test this 618 again one more time, right around this 4.91 support, and then impulse right up from there. And if that is the case, guys, that would be a subwave 3 of a larger primary wave 3. That should be a very, very impulsive looking wave. The problem I'm having with this is, guys, if we come in here and we look at volume, we don't have nearly the volume. Today we're at 515 million. Yesterday we were only at 412 million, 560 million. We need to see volume consistently up above at least minimum 1 billion per day, consistently. We haven't had that in a very, very long time. So until we start seeing volume consistently above 1 billion per day, guys, we are not going to have a sustainable bull run. Doesn't mean it can't come in, guys. Just means that that's a real. We're just not going to have that sustainable bull run until we start seeing volume. Once you start seeing that kind of volume, you're going to know that the bull run is in. If we come in here, we look at the daily, we still have yet to get above this descending resistance line that's been in place that I keep pointing out. We're testing it right now. Let's see if we get a major rejection or if we can break above it. Or if we just continue to hover right below it, guys, and we might consolidate. We might continue to consolidate until we have that ETF decision tomorrow. And tomorrow, that ETF decision, I think, even though it really doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference in the market, even if it gets rejected and it's expected to get rejected, it shouldn't make a lot of difference fundamentally at all, because it's not expected to go. But, this is not a rational market, guys, by any stretch of the imagination, and any kind of perceived bad news could send this thing tanking. My only hope is we still have so many shorts, as I pointed out. Shorts are still stacked so high that market makers have every incentive of bringing this thing up to try to liquidate some of those short positions, guys. So this is just an epic battle between the bulls and the bears, and it's almost a game of chicken to see who blinks first. Are these shorts going to hold their positions long enough to see and force market makers to push it up, or are market makers just going to give in to retail investors and let the market drop like they all want it to? Very interesting to see how this is going to end up playing out, guys. And as I said, the two key zones we're watching is this 4.73 to 4.66 and this 5.39 to 5.46. These two support and resistance zones, in my opinion, are key. Another interesting thing to point out. If we look here on the 4-hour chart, the MACD, guys, the MACD has been getting squeezed since mid-June. It's getting squeezed tighter and tighter and tighter. As we approach an apex, that shows you guys that a larger move is going to end up taking place as we get closer to this apex. And I think that's going to probably happen between now and the beginning of September. So sometime in the next 2 weeks, I think you're going to see a major move in the U.S., and it possibly could come at any time. Whether that be up or down, is anybody's guess. Personally, the most bullish scenario, in my opinion, I would like to see a closure to this downside. I'd like to see it come down and create a double bottom, or even possibly hit into this very strong demand zone between 4.00 and 3.50. I think that would send price skyrocketing to the upside. However, it doesn't mean it has to happen, guys. We could just take off from here. I just think to get some closure and to fill these orders down here, I think there's a good chance, and I think that that would be a very bullish thing if price came down. We got some closure, the market got some closure, and it just skyrocketed up from there, but we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there, guys. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, I certainly would appreciate an upvote or a re-steam or a like, depending on where you're viewing this. Till next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.